The company behind a proposed data center in the heart of the capital city made its case for the community and city leaders tonight. Good evening, I'm Ann Emmerich. Earlier today, Deep Green, that's the company behind the project, hosted a roundtable alongside business leaders, labor unions, and city partners, all people who could be affected if this project is approved. News 10's Rachel Fulton was there, and she joins us in studio with more.
Yeah, and following the group roundtable, Deep Green and most of the people involved in the event headed to Lansing City Hall. There, the company presented its proposed project to City Council, as well as a standing room only crowd. Some people even had to watch the meeting virtually from the first floor of City Hall because the interest from the community was so high. A $120 million proposal could reshape a stretch of downtown Lansing. The European company Deep Green is pitching what it calls a new kind of data center, one that captures waste heat and feeds it back into Lansing's energy system.
Taking vacant parcels of land and redeveloping them is going to only enhance the walkability of that corridor.
Supporters say the project could modernize downtown infrastructure and lower long-term energy costs.
We are originally budgeted to build a $5 million satellite plant in the downtown area. And that plant can either be totally eliminated or downsized by 75%.
But Monday night, the optimism faced pushback as neighbors raised concerns during a public hearing at City Council.
The last time they talked to us, they pushed most of those concerns off to after the rezoning, which just can't happen because once rezoning and construction begins, the people have no say in what actually happens.
Those concerns echoed inside council chambers, with members pressing for more data before moving forward.
I'm gonna, talk about some calculations that I did myself, and at this point, you probably can't refute whether any of them are correct or inaccurate because you have not provided us with any of these studies.
Council says the debate isn't just about land, energy, or the environment. It's about who benefits from development and who gets a voice in shaping it.
When we allow corporations to feed off these communities without giving anything back, it weighs our own community down. We are less vibrant.
The Lansing City Council could possibly vote on the Deep Green Data Center during their next meeting, which is on February 23rd. And I'm going to send it back to you at the desk.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And we will link the project renderings, the full proposal, and more details from tonight's meetings on our website, WILX.com. Well, here's